absolutely love being able to work on some of your beautiful treasured teddies. This one has just been brought into us here, and this is a very, very precious teddy that's belonged to its owner for the last 70 years, receiving this teddy when she was born. He is so loved, and we've just had some history that he has travelled all around the world with this lady. In fact, she was so emotional when she left, with tears streaming down her eyes. We've promised to look after him, and we're going to be showing you how he looks when he's finished. So he has been immensely loved. Look at this. He has little damage to his face, and also he's nearly threadbare. There's a little bit of hair in patches left. He also has had his little paws sucked and kissed to death nearly. He's absolutely beautiful. So we will be showing you very soon just how amazing he is going to look when he has been to Teddy Hospital. And after a few weeks, he is back awaiting to meet his very emotional owner. Look at this one. Doesn't he look amazing? He's so beautifully restored, and we cannot believe just how great he looks. He really did look in a sorry state, and sometimes when they come into store and look so poorly, it's really challenging, and we're always wondering exactly what we can do to make these beautiful old, very treasured bears great for the future. And it's all about preserving them for the future and not making them look too new. So this one has had all the pads replaced and giving him back the shape where the little paws had obviously been chewed and probably sucked on as a baby. And of course he had the very large hole here, but oh, he looks great, doesn't he? So we're going to now call the owners of these special bears for them to collect. We can't wait to see their reactions very soon. As a family business of 45 years here, when that doorbell rings, we never know what challenges we are going to be faced with, whether it be a huge $600 delivery from Spain or a box like this, which looks very old and a little bit worn and clearly has been in storage for quite a while. Often with an older lady or gentleman that will say, I've had these dolls in the loft for many years, they're very precious to us, and can you repair them? So I thought it'd be nice to share with you some of the arrivals of what comes into our hospital service here, and then when they are finished. So here we have 3 dolls, all from different eras and all in need of that TLC. The first one here, obviously very precious and sentimental to the lady that owns her. She even had her own name for her. This doll is called Tatiana. She is by the German company Arm & Marseille from around 1910-1915. She's a typical doll made of that time, with many thousands of these dolls being produced in Germany for very lucky children. Now this one is a fully jointed doll, and she has had a lot of play and lots of love. So here she has her little finger missing, along with one on this hand too, and her eyes do need resetting as they're not functioning correctly. Can you see there how she's looking slightly upwards? Her hair is original, made of natural mohair, but has obviously seen better days. Now when you take the wig off these dolls and you look inside the head, you can see there the workings of the eyes and the craftsmanship that's gone into creating something like this. Now these eyes are hand blown glass on a lead paperweight, which makes the eye actually sleep. So she is also missing her lashes and some of her eye wax too. So this doll we look at, we appraise, and we're going to sympathetically restore. The lady wants to keep the original, obviously the eyes and also the wig, and not over restore her. So we have offered a service of sorting out the eyes, restringing the doll with cotton coated elastic so it is tight enough then to stand, sit or pose, and also a little bit of a clean and repairing her fingers too. So we're really excited to see how she will look back on this video when she's finished. So this one is the oldest of the group of the 3 dolls that have come in. The next one here, she's named Jean, and again she has been truly loved, and these dolls are very, very sentimental. As a child you were very fortunate to have beautiful dolls, especially if they were newly bought in that time. So this doll is probably from around the 1940s, made of a different type of material to the last one we've looked at. And can you see there how her hair is a little worse for wear? Isn't it funny how even, because they were so cautious, and just the cost of making these dolls at the time, that they hardly painted the full head there, they just glued the wig over the top. So she has the hand painted eyes instead, so no real craftsmanship into making the sleeping eyes for this one, and she really just needs her hair sorting out. This hair is quite tatty and very, very sparse, so we would probably look at replacing a suitable wig. It won't be the original, but something that is very in keeping with this style of doll, and just making her more secure so she doesn't completely fall apart and get broken by restringing her too. So it's amazing, isn't it, the transition and the change of the dolls in these years. Bearing in mind the first doll was made in Germany and Jean was probably manufactured in England. Many dolls that are brought in from the 1950s coming to us like this, and these were the original walking dolls of the 50s, and many children were fortunate enough to receive someone as cute as her, maybe in their Christmas stocking. Many of these dolls were sold by shops such as Marks and Spencer's or even Woolworths in that day, and often the rubber bands that held these together perishes, so we will naturally restring the head and also the arms, and luckily the hooks are there and she is in what we class as good condition. At the front here, this is where the mama box is inserted, so we will also look at the workings of that too and see what we can achieve. But these are very sweet dolls, and they were the walk along dolls. So when you move the legs, the head actually moves too. You were to get her by her arm and walk her along with yourself as a young child. So we do receive many of these dolls from various different British companies in our hospital. Back at long last from our workshop, those 3 beautiful treasured possessions are now back and looking to their former glory. Oh my gosh, she's come out lovely. She's had her wig tidied up, her eyes are now in the proper position, sleeping. She also has her hands restored and she's fully restrung. So these dolls are on cotton coated elastic, still made in Germany, and that's how we love to restore them, on the original elastic. So she's looking absolutely great and is also now able to be posed very easily. So that one is the first, and the second one that we have transformed, and she's looking actually really great. So remember this one with that really tatty old synthetic wig. She now has a smart fringe and her plait, so this wig can be easily styled. She's also fully restrung, so again you can position her and she can even hold a little toy or something. So it's amazing how these dolls are transformed once they come back from the hospital workshop. But don't they look great? And we just can't wait to give the owner a call in a minute and let her know that her 3 childhood dollies are also repaired. This one was the 1950s 50s doll, and she again was fully restrung. Her head was detached and also her arms, and she has a new replacement wig. Now this wig we've left full length, but can also be styled in the traditional plaits that this doll probably would have had when she was originally purchased in the 50s. Her actual colouring and also her eyelash and everything was still intact, so we've just given her a little clean and she's back walking again. So the idea of this one is getting the right tension of the head attached back to the body so that it creates the walking mechanism where you can hold her hand and she can walk along with you. So she's also come up really lovely. Now the lady does have the original clothes for these dolls, so sadly we don't have those here to show you, but I'm sure when they're all back dressed in their finery they will look absolutely delightful and she'll be able to put them back on the show. But aren't they great? We really love our hospital service. It's very labour intensive, and there's a few of us here behind the scenes now that are working very, very hard in doing all the repairs. I can't tell you how many repairs we receive here on a daily basis, but it certainly keeps us on our toes with that next challenge coming along. Coming into work this morning, and look, we had a knock on the door. We were met by this sweet golden oldie, and he's also looking for some TLC. Now he is so cute. He's an English teddy made of mohair, probably around the late 1940s, and you can see his head is very wobbly. He's been very well loved and he's somebody's dream childhood teddy. Now this one we will look at again sympathetically, and we will probably look at replacing the pads on the feet here and maybe a little bit of a clean, also inserting his eyes. But what's lovely about this teddy is the owner, being such a precious spare, has actually got his original glass little eyes in her bag here, so they can be easily reinserted. And then we will just stiffen his neck a little bit just to prevent it getting any weaker and possibly tearing the fabric in the future. So with a little gentle stuffing, he will be not as good as new, because we wouldn't want that. We have to leave the character and also all the memories in this teddy too, but he will be looking very good very soon, so keep posted. Another one, they're coming in fast and furious, is this one. Check out this one. This belongs to the lady's husband, again from the childhood, and he decided to pop him in the washing machine. So originally this bear would have been quite firmly filled, but with the washing it's gone very, very soggy and saggy. So we will look at refilling this bear and making him a little bit firmer and giving him some more body so he can sit quite easily and not look as sorry for himself. Now this one was made a lot later than the last one we looked at, so he actually has the plastic nose, which was probably made in the 1960s, and somebody's replaced his eyes with buttons, which was often the case. You would run to grandma and ask to replace Teddy's eyes, and of course out comes the button box. So he will be coming back to us from the workshop with some proper eyes, and we're also going to give him a little sweet detailed mouth here because he's also missing that. But otherwise he's pretty clean, in great condition and great shape, maybe a little stitch or two, where of course the child tends to carry Teddy by his ears. These sometimes do become detached. Can you see there from the big factory stitching? It's just come a bit loose. So we're looking forward. He will be looking really good later in this video too. Look who's back from the workshop, working with our team of amazing restorers. Check out this one. So this is the one that needed its beautiful original eyes popping in, and also tidying up the pads here and giving him a little bit more character and enabling him to sit up freely on his own and look out the window. So doesn't he look fabulous now? He's all spruced up, awaiting his owner to collect him. Oh, he's so cute. We know she's going to be super, super happy when she comes into store and picks up her Teddy, looking so dapper and back to his former glory. The other one is also back. Look at this one. This was the later one. Of course, he'd been popped in the washing machine and he'd lost his strength and character. But doesn't he look now? He looks amazing. He's got the new eyes. He's also had his mouth tidied up, his ears stitched on, and he's a lot firmer. Not too firm though, because we still want to be able to have cuddles. I'm sure he's dying to meet his original owner, who'll be popping into store very, very soon. Doesn't he look a dapper chappy? What really makes our day here as well at Mary Shortle is not only taking in the dolls and teddies for restoration and then popping them to our team, it's also when the owner of the bear is so gracious and receiving this beautiful thank you card today and explaining how precious this bear is to its owner. The teddy belonged to this lady, 77 years of age, and today she sent us this beautiful letter. That's what it's about here, really making those precious dreams come true, whether it's restoring your old teddy or doll, or even some of the toys that we also restore here, or making a brand new reborn baby. Our day varies so much here at Mary Shortle's, and it just makes it all the more special when their owners are overwhelmed with how they look at the end of it all. A customer has just popped into store today and asked if we had a doll and teddy hospital service. Well, yes, we do, and we were presented with this. Oh dear, she's certainly been very treasured and very loved. The lady would like her restoring to her former glory. Now, bearing in mind, this is not a manufactured toy. This is actually a handcrafted toy. And this one being, are you ready, a topsy-turvy, was made from a pattern probably in the 80s for her daughter. So she really does need a lot of TLC and a lot of patience in bringing her back to her former glory. Fortunate enough, we have been able to find an image on the internet of what this doll should be looking like from its original pattern. So with this one here, she has got quite a lot of her face detail still in place. We're going to be popping on some wool hair and also making her an arm. She is missing her arm, sadly, so that needs to be remade. And the other side, which has obviously had a lot more love, she would have the brunette hair here, and she has the tear, so it's like Cinderella in the rags, and then Cinderella, of course, as the princess. So this is going to be a really fun project, and we'll be back soon to show you just how great she's going to look. This one was such a great challenge, and working with our amazing team, all of us here at Mary Shortle, we have specialists in the restoration side of the teddies and the soft toys, and then also the dollies and other types of repairs that come in as well. But I can't believe how well she has turned out. Look at this girl. Doesn't she look amazing? Just like the original pattern image. So all created very specially. She also has her new arm as well. Of course, this is Cinderella in the rags, and the lady did manage to find the original hat, which was great. So the face has been recreated, and also the hair, and a general tidy up. But this is the bit that I'm so in love with. She's a topsy-turvy, so when you turn her over, she is Cinderella going to the ball. This is the side that needed the new arm, and I think it's come out just perfectly. But look at her hair. So she had no hair at all. Doesn't she just look the perfect princess? She's been completely restored and is back to her former glory. I'm sure her owner will be over the moon when she comes to collect this treasured toy. absolutely delighted. I certainly would be if I owned her. And a massive thank you really to our big team that do work behind the scenes and just bringing back the smiles to the owners of these very, very precious childhood toys. Another couple have also come back as well. I'm just going to grab those and show you. So this one here, he literally had his head was detached from his body and he had quite a lot of holes, also through lots of cuddles and love. So he's also back looking pretty smart now as well. Now this one that came in was a bit more of a challenge. This one was actually quite distressed as a teddy. The face here had all disintegrated along with the ears, and the fabric had actually, it had sort of stretched and become very, very threadbare. So again, back to the former glory, also looking very great and with a lot more life too now. So you can still give him lots and lots of cuddles, which I know the teddies still love to be cuddled even though they're a little bit older. So he is also ready for his new owner to collect, and of course looking totally like the original teddy that was brought in. So we never like to over restore anything at all. We like to keep it in keeping with the age of the teddy and also matching the fabrics where possible. We really enjoy working in the hospital too, and we have actually taken on more restorers due to the demand, and I think that's really thanks to the repair shop. I know so many of you just love watching that series. It really brings a tear to your eye sometimes when you see the owners come to collect their beautiful objects. But we're all about dolls and teddies and toys here. So if you have a wonderful childhood favourite that needs restoring, it's always worth contacting us here. We may be able to help. We're not magicians at the end of the day, and there are some things that we're able to do, like clockwork toys and very specialist items, but the majority of things we can certainly find a way of just preserving them for the future. This little darling was brought into us in a very, very sorry state. Her name is Peggy, and she was so precious to her owner that her owner travelled all the way to York, stayed overnight and popped her into our hospital service. You can see now the images on the screen. She'd clearly been left in a very, very damp place over the years with her also replacement arm, and she was looking in a terrible, sorry state. She's so precious. She has all of her original clothes that were also handmade by a family member. So the sentimentality behind this beautiful doll for her owner, as with most of the owners that bring repairs in, she absolutely means the world to her to have her restored into her former glory. So here she is. Here is Peggy, and she's certainly looking very proud now. She has had a full restoration, so you can see that all her body has been completely restored and all painted in the original way, and also she now has this sweet little character face and her hand painted hair. The clothes have had to be restored too, a lot of fine stitching. There was quite a lot of moth holes and things like that which have had to all be repaired, new hooks and eyes, and just really so she could put back together and be placed on display. So we're really proud of how Peggy has turned out, and we just again can't wait to call her owner to come and collect her. I'm sure this one will bring many happy tears, along with all the other lovely restoration projects that we've done lately. I thought it was absolutely great to put this video together just to show what really goes on behind the scenes here. We're not only a retail store with probably the largest selection in the UK of reborn babies, and also this massive array of teddy bears that we just love sourcing and offering you one of the greatest selections, along with all our antique dolls. But our dolls hospital service is a full-time job on its own, and we're probably restoring around 2,000 items during the year with our amazing team behind the scenes. So just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who works so hard in making these treasures come back to life for their special owners. Thanks so much for watching this video, and if you have a treasured toy, regardless of age, that you would love us to look at in the hope of some restoration or maybe preserving that that item for the future, then why not send us a message with some images, or give us a call, or even pop your item into store, and we are happy to quote and advise on what we can do for your beautiful doll or teddy. Thanks so much for watching, and we can't wait to see you all very, very soon.